And when you think through that, inflation can mean a whole bunch of different things, both in severity and also where it shows up. Talk through a little bit of just what is your expectation, fully understanding this is a complex system. Literally, facts change on a day-to-day basis. But just kind of as we stand right now, where do you expect the inflation to show up, and how severe will it be?
It's the first time someone's asked a question like that. It is the way it should always be with inflation. In fact, someone asked me the question on inflation. I said, when you listen to the recaps of in the morning of what happened in sports the night before, and they try to find different words to define the outcome, and they'll go, and the Cavaliers crushed the Lakers, and the Knicks blew out, or they squeaked by. It's always some word. Well, that's what inflation is. Inflation at the end of the day has no true definition. So what a big number is, I just don't understand what it really means. So the way that I've kind of said this is core inflation in the United States, the one that the Fed predominantly uses, which is the PCE core deflator, has really not migrated far away from the 1.5% to 2.25% range for basically my entire career in this industry. Very seldom will you find a more stable thing than the PCE core. And I think that has everything to do with the technological influences that have been going on since really the personal home computer entered in and we started going through it. And I am a deflationist at heart. I believe technology will continue to keep inflation in check. But when you're defining inflation, I do think we're going to have commodity inflation. I do think we're going to have problems with restaurants, and restaurants are going to pass through expenses. There's going to be supply shortages for airline seats, for hotel rooms. Once this thing opens and everyone tries to travel at the same time, I don't know how we're going to ramp up the supply that quickly and hire all the people that we laid off when they're getting paid to stay at home. It's just not going to be the simple thing to get through it. So in the short term, until we get through that, I think there's going to be inflation for at least the next 18 months. My guess is that people will start to learn the difference between headline inflation and PCE core. Core inflation will have trouble going up too much. I do think it'll get up to probably the highest levels we've seen in some time, but my guess is 3% would be the highest that we could see on that. And then headline inflation, I think we will see 5.5% to 6% by the time we get through the end of the summer. I think that's going to be the peak of this. But then at that point, as has been the case with Silicon Valley, any place where there's any kind of margins in anything, there will be people coming with technology to drive those margins back down. And within 3 years, 4 years, my guess is that we will find a way to move inflation back down to where it traditionally has been.